one of the challenging parts about tonight, besides worrying about what Coach Nelson was going to say, was how do we pick the student athletes? There's 379 of them, and they all have a similar story. Maybe they didn't all get their MBA, but there is a story. And another story we want to share tonight, I'll invite Matt Oakes, Steve Lockway, and Drew Lingle to the stage to talk a little bit about his story and the path that he took in his time as a Dragon football player.
I think this one works? Yeah. Okay.
Well, I hope you guys paid attention to the questions, because they're going to seem very similar.
Familiar?
Yeah.
There's a reason we're going second.
Right, right.
CTE.
Yeah.
CTE.
So, Drew, similar to what Jeff said, congratulations on your graduation.
Thank you.
Got a brief minute before we started tonight to catch up a little bit, and that was a lot of fun. So I'm excited for you, and I know you're going to be very successful. So congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So why don't you just start off similar and share a little bit about your career prior to being a Dragon.
Yeah, I'm from Bismarck, North Dakota. I went to Century High School, the real high school in Bismarck. I played golf and I played football in high school, so that's quite the combo right there. Golf and football, they're really conducive to the skills of each other. So, yeah, I really wanted to play college golf, but Coach Lockway snagged me away, and I couldn't be more thankful for that.
He's a really good golfer. He's a medalist. That's good.
Life skills.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the recruiting process and what Coach Lockway did to woo you to MSUM?
Yeah, like I said, I was bent on playing college golf somewhere, and oddly enough, Division I schools really don't come to North Dakota to recruit college golfers. Realized that a little late in the process, but the reason, well, what brought me to MSUM was I just got a letter from come to a game day visit. Came to a game day visit. My dad and Coach Lockway met in the most mysterious of circumstances. So, well, no, I'm not going to break it. That's the next question. So we'll get to that. They were playing Concordia St. Paul. CSP was the number 25 team in the nation at that time. They had a guy playing on the team who played for the Patriots for like 4 years, and he's super good. He was unreal. But they lost on a last-second field goal that MSUM missed, and we had the ball in like the 3 of CSP, missed a field goal to win the game. And I just remembered like how hard everybody took it, but the family atmosphere that surrounded the program, and also the talk that Coach Lockway gave before the game, just about standing up for your brother when you're out on that field, and when you look at when you're in the lines and people are hitting each other left and right, and the only people you have to rely on are the guys next to you. That's what he talked about, and it just really hit home to me, and gave me the culture that MSUM football had around it.
Awesome. Coach, same question.
I dug deep into the bag of tricks on recruiting. There's a lot of different techniques. So I did the classic, like, best move you can do. I know they're coming to the game. They're coming from Bismarck. It was like a noon or a 1 o'clock kickoff, so they're up early, they're driving, they're probably pounding coffee, that's what I'm thinking. So I time it up to meet them right kind of at the doorway, because I'm happy to just be going to the bathroom, but that's where I meet them. And I kind of do the quick, oh yeah, just kind of head in there and, you know, we'll catch up. But then Drew's dad, Daryl, goes, well, I need to go to the bathroom too. So we just make small talk at the urinal. That's kind of the way that the recruiting process started. And I walked out of there and went, there's no way in heck this is going to work. That was a bad first impression. Yeah, but it worked. So uphill from there.
That's funny. So obviously a little bit of a difference coming from high school into college athletics. At any point in time, did you just kind of go, what did I do? What did I get myself into? Who's this Coach Lockway guy?
Yeah, it was more like, who's that Coach Hunt guy? He was like, where's Coach Hunt at? We saw him here earlier. Is he here? Did he leave? Okay. He's pretty intense. So first day of practice, walked out there, and he just looked at me. He's like, "Ready for practice?" That's all he said to me. I was just like, "Yeah." I wasn't ready for practice. Ben Bierman, who was an All-American by the time he left MSUM, he played tackle. And then Troy Peterson was an all-conference tackle. I was going against them every day right away. And I remember Coach Lockway standing, like, we were running teams, so we were going 11 on 11. He was probably standing from me to the computer way, and he's just yelling at me, "Come on, Drew. Come on, Drew. Here's your chance." And then Benin proceeded to put me on my back. So that was my practice, first freshman year of fall camp, and that's when I felt that was a little in over my head, but it all comes around. So,
Coach, same question. Any point in time going, "Oh, man, what did we do?"
Oh, there's been too many of those. Most of them are when I go home.
Yeah.
I have 7 kids, so it's a crazy household.
and a dog.
And a dog. That's the biggest. What were we doing?
The new dog.
A dog.
The 11-year-old dog with cataracts, or however the
cataracts.
dog is that you just rescued.
And malocclusion, bad underbite. It's rough sledding. There were some times, I think, in Drew's career, I think, where as a program, you talk about the loss that you saw in your recruiting visit that stings. Obviously, there's losses in his time here that he played that sting and make you go, gosh, what are we doing here, as far as if you get caught up too much in the wins and losses, you can lose sight of the big picture and seeing what these guys turn into, the things that they talk about, the way that they bring the younger players with them, the things that, they're going to take out. And you get those things not on Saturdays in the fall. You get those things in conversation outside of Buffalo Wild Wings. You get them in conversations inside your office that start to be relevant to the things that all of us are going to go. Drew's not going to the NFL, but he's going to the game of life. And the lessons that we went through together as a team, as coach to player, as players to players, you can't substitute that experience and the ability that he's shown to reflect on that. And I know he'll be able to then take those lessons and then apply them moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you. So, Drew, graduating with a degree in history.
I am.
Had a unique opportunity this past summer to go to Washington, D.C. Why don't you share a little bit about that experience with us?
Yeah, so I interned in Washington, D.C. for United States Senator John Thune. For those of you who don't know him, he is one of the Republican senators from South Dakota, and he's the senior senator. He is the 3rd most powerful senator in Congress. He is the Senate Republican Conference leader. He's a very influential guy, very busy guy, great guy, but the things that I learned out there were that be nice when you call your representatives and senators, because there's an intern answering the phone on the other line, and it's not the senator or representative who answers the phone. So when you talk to them, be nice. Don't call them bad names. I got called plenty of bad names. Also, just being able to sit on cool things like committee hearings. I got to sit in when James Comey, the former FBI director, when he did his first deposition in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee. I was able to sit in on that and take notes. I got to go to multiple speakers. I heard Matt Kibbe from Free the People with, I think Rand Paul hosted him speak. Mike Lee spoke, and I got to talk to him for a little bit afterwards. And it was just cool. I would walk down the hallway at work, and I'd be like, oh, there's Bernie Sanders, like he's running for president. Or there's Marco Rubio, he ran for president too. Or I'd see influential people from business. Like I saw Jeff Bezos from Amazon one day. I didn't even realize that it was him, yet he's like one of the most wealthy people in the world. And he was just walking down the hallway drinking a cup of coffee from the Senate coffee shop. So it was a really cool experience to see. And one day I saw a lady wearing a Dragons shirt walking down to the subway outside of my apartment. I was just like, hey, I go to school there. And she's like, oh, my cousin went there. I'm like, where are you from? New York. Oh, okay, you don't have any idea where Moorhead's at, but okay, cool, I like your shirt.
It sounds like you had an awesome time.
Yeah, it was great.
Great experience. So, any experiences with Coach Lockway that you'd like to share? Tidbits, inside track?
think Abe would be able to help me out with these. He's sitting back there. He probably has plenty of them. But the one story, so every Friday night before games, we have team talks basically, and Lockway gives a talk to kind of preface the game the next day and usually it relates to a message of life. It always does actually, but we were sitting there in Wayne, or we would have been in Sioux City, Iowa, I think, so we were playing Wayne the next day, and Wayne, America is like a town of 100 people, and you know what story's coming. And yeah, there's no hotels there. So we were in Sioux City, Iowa, in this janky little conference room having this talk, and Wade would know it too. Wade played on the team, and Lockway is sitting there talking about, what was the guy's name? Uncle Vance. Uncle Vance. So Uncle Vance and his wife, Aunt Susie we'll call her, took their nephews and nieces out to the ocean one day to go swimming, and one of the nephews unfortunately got bit by a shark. And this is a real story. Uncle Vance goes in, punches the shark in the face, and pulls the kid out of the water. And the kid survives and everything, so you think, oh, that's a cool story. Well, the way Lockway tells it is the shark was a whale shark. And we're all sitting there looking at each other like, whale shark? Does he know that those are the size of a bus? No way a guy's pulling that out. So then every talk, Lockway has some fact in there that he gets wrong. So then everybody has iPhones, whereas Lockway had a flip phone at the time. So we're all sitting there fact checking him. And then after his speech is done, like, he's all pumped up, like, he's taught him this lesson about standing up for your brother and everything. Like, Coach, whale shark. Not happening. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, the size of a bus. So then the next week, he has to like preface the next story with the whale shark story and how it wasn't a whale shark, it was a tiger shark. And how we're all a bunch of fact-checking him every week. And then this story just keeps getting brought up for like the next 2 years before every talk, is that we all fact-check him every week. So Lockway will never let that go.
And Swen Nader, the next week was the talk.
Yep.
And I said he was 7'1", and you guys said he was 7 foot flat. By the time we could leave the room, you had fact-checked me. So it's a tough crowd.
Maybe if you had an iPhone, you would have known that, Coach.
Well, Drew, a lot of good experiences, you know, a lot of positives from your time here. What's your future hold for you?
So I was going to go to law school, but I changed my major like 3 times in my college career. Somehow managed to graduate in 4 years. Don't know how I did that. I was going to go to law school, decided against it. I'm going to be going back to MSUM next year, getting my ed degree within 1 year, and then I'll be getting my master's, hopefully from MSUM in admin, and then hopefully pursuing my PhD after that. So that's what I'll be doing.
Awesome. Coach, one final tip for Drew. Last little coach session. Maybe some wisdom about a whale shark.
It's a tiger shark. You know, I would say this, at the end of the day, you know, this is you, maybe this is for everybody. Everybody's path is unique, whether it's the one you head down or the one you've been on. You've been given certain experiences, certain gifts, certain people in your life that have prepped you to go into whatever you're facing. And you won't be facing it alone. And as you face it, you need to remember that those people are also on your path that helped you along it. There's going to be somebody you need to help on your path. And as long as you do those things, you know what, you're going to live a long, good life. So just remember the path that you're on, remember the path you're going. You're not alone on either one. So.
Thank you.